Today is Monday, Parashat Vaetchanan, and we're learning the Musar from Chok Israel. The Musar today says, Yetzer Hara Tov LaAdam. The Yetzer, the bad inclination, is good for a person. I could ask, how could it be good if it's a bad inclination, if it's the evil inclination? She'elu lo haya Yetzer Hara, if he wasn't for Yetzer Hara, Sholet ala Adam, if it wasn't for Yetzer Hara, that would try to overpower the person, to tempt him. Mascharo asher yekabel ala tova. What kind of reward could he receive for making the right choice? If there was no temptation, there's no effort to making the right choice, then what would be the reason for giving him a reward? Ata sheyitzro mitgaber alav. Now that Yetzer Hara overpowers him, bekofefo ba'avur HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the person overpowers the Yetzer Hara, he has the self-control and he does it for the sake of Hashem. Haresh lo sachar tov. That's why he would have a good reward, because he was tempted, and the Yetzer Hara can be very tempting at times. He can really try to push him to do the wrong thing, and if he's able to have the self-control, that effort that he invested in overpowering the Yetzer Hara is then rewarded. So ultimately, the Yetzer Hara was good for the person, to give him the zechut, the merit, in making the right choice. But for the wicked people, Yetzer Tov Ra Lahem. For the wicked people, the Yetzer Tov, the good inclination, is bad for them. How is that? Because Ilu Lo Ta'amu Yetzer Tov, if they had never tasted the Yetzer Tov, the good inclination, Yecholim Hayu Lomar, they could say, Lo Yadanu Mativo Shel Yetzer Tov. We don't know what is the quality and what is this Yetzer Tov. But now that they have also Yetzer Tov, they have no excuse of they could have made the right choice because they had also that alternative. So it turns out that you have the two sort of like pulls that are pulling in each direction. You have the one pulling the person to Yetzer Hara, the Yetzer Hara to do the wrong thing. You have Yetzer Tov that pulls the person to do the wrong thing. They're both present there to do the right thing. So Yetzer Tov to do the right thing, Yetzer Hara to do the wrong thing. They're both present, and they both work to influence a person. But still, the power of choice is with the person himself to make the right choices. And the more he is able to overcome the temptation to do wrong, the more merit he has. And he cannot use an excuse that there was no Yetzer Tov there, because Yetzer Tov is also present. A person is pulled in either direction, and he gets the reward from making the right choices. And not just that, the Musar goes on to say that a person gets a greater reward on those things that the Yetzer Hara is really very tempting to him. He gets a greater reward than those things that a person is not so tempted to do. He said that they have no pull towards. There are certain types of food that are forbidden to eat, and they may be disgusting to eat, all sorts of insects, for instance. So that nobody has a temptation maybe to eat them, but certain foods that may be very tasty yet asur to eat, you get a greater reward because you were tempted maybe, but you still control yourself. And this is the Musar for today from Chok Israel for Parashat Vaetchanan for Monday. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.